Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we'll be using the Xinyan discard deck. Now it's called the Xinyan discard deck, but it's actually centered around the Earthworm instead. And that's because we can turn the Earthworm into a raid boss, thanks to its passive ability. So when the battle begins, it creates 6 of these Awaken My Kindred cards and places them randomly into your deck. And when you use each of these cards, or if you discard them, you'll summon a proliferated organism. And after you summon 4 of these, our Earthworm turns into a raid boss. First it gains 2 shield, and then from that point onwards, it just deals plus 3 damage. Cause yeah, why not? And it also can heal a bit based on how much Oasis nourishment it has, but that's not really too important. The main thing here is the plus 3 damage we get. So we'll be using the Seahorse and Xinyan to just set up for our Earthworm. So we're going to be making sure that we get 4 of those summons up by round 3, hopefully. So as you can see, both of us have the Earthworm and we both get the 6 Earthworm cards. And they all get into our deck. So our opponent starts off with the Stove and then, Talent card. I have no idea who even uses Rana these days, but I guess this guy does. We just do a bunch of stuff which we're not even going to pay attention to, because who cares about that? We only care about our Earthworm, not theirs. I use a Stove of my own, and then I just use the talent since, why not? And I actually use my Linny card just to draw more cards, even though it's at the full price, because I need cards. And in fact, we spend the entire first turn just drawing cards. And as you can see, we already drew 2 of these Awaken My Kindreds, so that's a pretty good start. Now we don't really have to worry too much about damage in these first 2 rounds because, again, Guardian of Apep's Oasis, it just deals plus 3 damage after we get 4 of the summons. So we don't have to worry too much about damage, but we do at least have to apply a bit of stuff, like a bit of elements. That's pretty helpful usually.
Let's jam!
Going into the second round, I send out Xinyan and I'm gonna use an elemental skill, which deals 2 pyro damage, creates 2 shield, and also discards your most expensive card, which in our case is the card we wanted to discard. See, the thing is, if you use the card, it costs 2 Dendro dice. But if you just discard it, it's free, and it does the same thing. So you always want to try and discard it. Also, I made sure not to use any action cards yet, so that I could get the discounts from the Kusava. You can feel free to pause the video and read that if you want. I just switched around to avoid giving them a free quicken, and I end my round with the Mausoleum of King Dashred, which makes it so that after they draw 4 cards cumulatively, then for the rest of the round, it first creates 2 Forbidden Knowledge, places them on the top of their deck, and then after that, for the rest of the round, for every card they draw, they get another Forbidden Knowledge. And Forbidden Knowledge is extremely annoying to deal with because A, you can't tune it, B, you can only use 1 of them per round. So basically it just eats up the space in your hand and also stops you from drawing the cards you want. Now going into round 3, unfortunately we still only have 2 of those 2 stacks of what stack is this called? Heart of Oasis, when we need 4, so not too good. But we do still have a lot of draw power, so that's what I'm gonna go for. I just tune a few cards first so that I don't overdraw cards. And they use the elemental skill, which is really weird because I have this thing down. And as you can see, now that they've drawn so many cards, they get Forbidden Knowledge. I Lotus up Xinyan so she can survive another hit. And I use a burst to discard all the cards in my hand, which also deals a decent bit of damage and gives me Festive Fires for more damage. So how Festive Fires works is that when you end your round, it just deals 1 pyro damage. Pretty simple and very useful too. So as you can see, they get overloaded off of the Scorpion, so now they have to use another die to switch back to it. Not to mention it just took like 3 damage. And for some reason they use this card, which just means they get another 4 Forbidden Knowledge. Like, why would you do that when you have this thing up? I don't get it. You know what? I just want to see how much Forbidden Knowledge do you have. Okay, only 2, not bad. But 2 is already pretty annoying. Just wait until they draw the rest of it. Oh yeah, and Forbidden Knowledge also deals 1 damage to your active character. Not like it really matters in most cases. So now they use the burst, and unfortunately I do get 3 stacks of Thunderbolt Trap now. So after each attack I will take 2 electro damage 3 times. Anyway, it's down to Earthworm versus Earthworm now. Okay, not really, I still have this guy up, but he's gonna die in 1 hit to Thunderbolt Trap. And the hilarious thing here is that Sir Arthur actually copies their Forbidden Knowledge and gives it to me. Quite a funny interaction. It's fine. Only having 1 Forbidden Knowledge doesn't mean much anyway. So again, I make sure not to use any action cards first so that I get the discount from Kusava. And now it's Earthworm versus Earthworm, except, I mean, I have a lot more HP. I know I could use this and get like my raid boss status, but I just finished off the game here. But if let's say they still had more characters left, more HP left, then I would use that and just probably just close out the game with my +3 damage. So there's that. GG.